Have you ever offered help to someone only to end up feeling unappreciated or even used? If so, you're not alone. Today, we'll dive into an important and eye-opening topic: the kinds of people you should think twice before helping. From ingratitude to manipulation, these types of individuals can not only drain your generosity, but also harm your emotional well-being and personal boundaries. Stay with me until the end of this video to gain practical insights on how to handle these situations wisely. Understanding these dynamics will empower you to offer help more intentionally, knowing who truly deserves it and when it's better to hold back. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you won't miss future videos. Your support helps keep this channel going. And if you find this topic valuable, please hit the like button and share the video. If you enjoy content like this, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better content for you. Let's begin with a story. In a quiet coastal village forgotten by time, nestled between rugged cliffs and crashing waves, lived a young fisherman named Luca. His soul was as deep and reflective as the sea he sailed each day. One stormy afternoon, as he walked along the shore strewn with debris, Luca came across a wounded seagull, its once beautiful feathers tangled cruelly in a fishing net. Looking into the bird's eyes, he saw both suffering and longing. Moved by a deep compassion, he gently freed the bird with his weathered hands and carried it home to his small seaside cabin. There, surrounded by the scent of salt and solitude, he nursed the fragile creature back to health. He named her Mia. As the days passed, Mia's wings grew strong again. She perched loyally on Luca's shoulder while he repaired nets and told tales of the sea, his silent companion through each passing tide. In her eyes, Luca found a flicker of gratitude that warmed his heart like sunlight breaking through the morning fog. But as Mia regained her strength, something changed. She became possessive, aggressive even, when he offered food. Her once gentle demeanor gave way to unexpected hostility. Luca was puzzled. Was it the call of the wild pulling her back to freedom? Then one morning, as the ocean breeze filled their small cabin, Mia's eyes shifted. Without warning or goodbye, she struck his hand with her beak and flew off, her wings slicing through the sky in a blur. Luca stood frozen, a bleeding hand and a wounded heart left behind in the stillness. In the silence that followed, while mending both his nets and his spirit, Luca came to a painful realization. Compassion is noble, but it must be paired with wisdom. Not everyone is ready to receive kindness with an open heart. Some spirits are wild, meant to roam. They may take your care but never return it. Though hurt, Luca vowed to continue helping others. But now, he would do so with discernment, understanding that real connection goes beyond kind gestures. In the rhythm of life's tides, he found comfort in knowing that while trust can be fragile, its lessons are enduring. His story reminds us that trust and gratitude don't always come in return, even when we give with the best intentions. Every person and creature carries a story, shaped by instinct, pain, or past experiences. And not everyone will respond to kindness the same way. Now, as we reflect on Luca's journey, let's shift to the heart of today's lesson: the 5 types of people you should be cautious about helping. But before we continue, if you resonate with Luca's story and the wisdom behind it, please show your support by hitting the like button. And if you're still here with me, comment 1 below so I know you're on this journey too. Let's dive in. Number 1. The ungrateful. Ungrateful people are those who, upon receiving help, not only fail to express any sign of appreciation, but may even go so far as to criticize or belittle the support they've received. Their lack of gratitude can stem from a number of reasons. Perhaps their expectations weren't met exactly as they imagined, or perhaps they're simply the type who undervalue the efforts of others and struggle to say a simple thank you. Imagine this. You devote your precious time, energy, and perhaps even financial resources to support someone in need. You do so out of kindness and a sincere desire to help. But instead of receiving a heartfelt word of thanks, you're met with complaints. maybe even comments suggesting your help wasn't good enough. That kind of reaction can sting. It not only robs you of the joy of giving, but can also make you question whether offering help was the right decision in the first place. In such moments, it's important to remember that the problem often lies not in the quality of your support, but in the mindset and attitude of the person receiving it. Their inability to acknowledge your kindness reflects more on them than on you. Still, experiencing ingratitude shouldn't harden our hearts or make us withdraw from helping others altogether. Rather, it should serve as a gentle but firm reminder. We must be wise and discerning about whom we give our time and energy to. Real support, after all, involves more than just physical or financial assistance. It also calls for emotional reciprocity, even in the smallest form. So, what should we do when we encounter ungrateful people? First, don't take it personally. Their lack of gratitude speaks volumes about them, not you. Second, treat these experiences as lessons. They sharpen your ability to judge where your efforts will be valued and where they will be wasted. Helping others is not just a moral duty, it's a relationship, a two-way street. And while we may not expect anything in return, a simple acknowledgement of our kindness can be a powerful motivation to keep doing good. When we learn to direct our compassion toward those who truly value it, we create a ripple effect, one of mutual respect, sincere connection, and goodwill. And that, ultimately, is the kind of help that transforms lives on both sides. Number 2, the lazy. This next type is someone you should seriously pause before helping. They are not lacking ability, they're simply lacking will. These are individuals who consistently avoid taking action, even when fully capable. At first glance, offering them help might feel generous, even noble. You might think your support will give them the push they need, but more often than not, it does the opposite. Instead of inspiring them to take responsibility and grow, repeated help becomes a crutch, something they lean on rather than step away from. Over time, they stop trying altogether because they've learned that someone else will always step in. You can often recognize a lazy person by their behavior. They dodge responsibility, avoid initiative, and frequently rely on others to fix their problems. They often have an endless stream of excuses, why they can't do something, why it's not their fault, or why things never change. Let's consider a familiar example. A coworker who always misses deadlines. The first few times you cover for them, maybe out of kindness or duty, but before long, they begin to expect it. What began as a compassionate gesture becomes an unspoken obligation. You're no longer helping, you're enabling. True help doesn't mean doing the work for someone. It means encouraging and empowering them to do it themselves. It means setting boundaries, offering support with accountability, and fostering their independence, not feeding their inertia. So before stepping in to help someone who consistently avoids effort, ask yourself, is my help creating progress or just allowing them to stay stuck? Because real growth doesn't come from being rescued again and again. It comes from being challenged to rise on your own feet. When we shift our mindset in this way, we don't just protect our time and energy, we also show respect for the potential of others to grow, take ownership, and rise stronger. Number 3, the irresponsible. This third group consists of individuals who habitually avoid accountability, those who consistently shift blame onto others rather than taking responsibility for their own actions. Offering help to people like this is not just ineffective, it can be downright harmful to them and to you. Irresponsible individuals have a pattern. When things go wrong, it's never their fault. They blame colleagues, the system, the timing, anyone or anything but themselves. Faced with the failure of a project, for example, they'll say their team didn't support them, or that leadership failed to give clear direction. But what they won't do is reflect on their own role, decisions, or lack of effort. Trying to help someone who refuses to take ownership creates a frustrating cycle. No matter how sincere your efforts, progress remains out of reach. Why? Because growth requires self-awareness, and they resist it at every turn. Even worse, over time, your continued support can put you in the crosshairs. You may find yourself blamed for things you had little or nothing to do with, simply because you're close enough to be a convenient scapegoat. This kind of dynamic not only damages your reputation, it also drains your emotional energy and challenges your integrity. So how should we approach people like this? With caution and with strategy. Instead of solving their problems for them, encourage self-reflection. Invite them to take responsibility for their choices and help them draw a clear connection between their actions and the outcomes they face. Set goals together and hold space for growth, but don't carry their burdens for them. Supporting someone doesn't just mean extending a helping hand, it also means being a mirror, a gentle reminder that growth begins with ownership. This kind of help, though harder to give, is far more meaningful in the long run. But, and this is key, if they continue to avoid accountability despite your efforts, it may be time to reassess the relationship. Not because you're giving up on them, but because protecting your boundaries is just as important as protecting your kindness. True support should uplift both people involved. If helping someone is repeatedly harming you or making you question your values, then it's not help, it's enabling. And you deserve better than that. Number 4. The manipulators. Among the most difficult people to help are manipulators. Those who skillfully twist your kindness to serve their own hidden agendas. These individuals know how to leverage your compassion, not to grow or heal, but to control, deceive, and take. At first, they may seem genuinely grateful. They might even appear vulnerable, drawing you in with charm or a story that tugs at your heart. But soon, that gratitude fades and is replaced by ongoing demands. They exploit your goodwill without offering true appreciation, much less any effort toward personal responsibility or change. Being on the receiving end of manipulation can leave you feeling confused, betrayed, and emotionally drained. You start to question your judgment. Was I wrong to help? How did I not see it sooner? The truth is, manipulators are often masters of disguise. They hide behind victimhood, using subtle guilt trips and emotional pressure to keep you giving. They make their needs sound urgent and their dependencies sound justified. But underneath it all is a calculated effort to maintain control while avoiding accountability. Recognizing this behavior is the first step to protecting yourself. Here's what you must remember. Yes, it is noble to help, but your well-being matters too. You are not obligated to keep giving when your kindness is being used as a weapon. Set clear, firm boundaries. Learn to say no without guilt. And most importantly, stop viewing manipulators as helpless. See them clearly as people making intentional choices to take rather than grow. That clarity will change everything. Manipulation is not just damaging. It erodes trust, poisons relationships, and slowly chips away at your self-worth. But when you hold your ground, when you offer help with wisdom and discernment, you protect both your integrity and your peace. Compassion is powerful, but only when it's guided by clarity. Use that power to uplift those who are ready to grow, not those who are determined to take. Number 5. The selfish ones. Helping selfish individuals presents a particularly draining challenge. These are the people who see support not as a gift, but as something owed to them. They prioritize their own needs above all else, often failing to recognize the time, energy, or heart that others pour into helping them. In relationships with selfish people, kindness can quickly lose its meaning. Assistance becomes expected, not appreciated. Instead of saying, "Thank you," they ask for more. Instead of showing gratitude, they act entitled. And slowly, what started as a generous gesture turns into a toxic, one-sided dynamic. This pattern doesn't just wear you down. It begins to hollow out the very spirit of giving. Like manipulators, selfish people can erode your energy and spirit if left unchecked. That's why it's essential to set clear and assertive boundaries early on. You must ensure that your help doesn't feed into their sense of entitlement, but instead encourages recognition, accountability, and mutual respect. One powerful way to shift the dynamic is through honest conversation. Let them know, my support is an act of kindness, not a duty. Speak your truth with clarity and calm. If they are open to change, such dialogue can spark reflection. But if the selfish behavior continues, if they keep demanding and taking without offering even basic appreciation, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Protecting your emotional well-being is not selfish. It's necessary. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is to step back, reduce your involvement, or even walk away, not out of bitterness, but out of love for yourself. Recognizing selfish behavior is the first step, but addressing it constructively allows you to stop the cycle of imbalance. It gives both parties a chance to reset and reframe what true support should look like: mutual, respectful, and appreciated. Yes, we should be kind. Yes, we should be compassionate. But those gifts are most powerful when shared with those who see them, who honor them, and perhaps one day return them. Thank you for joining me in exploring these powerful insights into the kinds of people we must be mindful of when offering our help. From the ungrateful to the selfish, each type reveals unique challenges and valuable lessons that can lead to greater self-awareness and personal growth. Which of these resonated most deeply with you? I invite you to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. How do you plan to apply these insights in your own life? Remember, the more we understand these dynamics, the better equipped we are to set healthy boundaries, protect our emotional energy, and build relationships rooted in mutual respect. If you found value in today's message, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps spread these lessons to others who may need them too. Until next time, stay wise and kind with clarity.